All right, I'm just gonna show you real quick how to take off, your tank, right? So the first thing you want to do is loosen up this guy and just drop it down. There's a bolt here and a bolt here that you can get with an extension by going up, okay? So there's one here, and then there's one right there, okay? And then you just let this thing kind of hang. It doesn't weigh that much, so you just let it hang there, okay? Now, under here, you've got one right here, okay? You got one here, one here, one here, one here, and then you have one that's right there, okay? So this piece comes off, all right? And here's what it looks like. It sits in here. It sits in there like that, okay? So it's got those three holes, and then this thing goes in and out, all right? In and out. And then there's an Allen right here, okay? And on the back side of this, you need a special tool, okay? Now this is called a clawfoot wrench. I just put an attachment, this is a 3/8 inch socket attachment onto this clawfoot. It's 24 millimeter crow's foot, actually. It's called a crow or a clawfoot. And you stick it back here, like so, and you just hold it with your hand right on the back. Just like that, okay? And then you can take your 3 millimeter, or it's a 4 millimeter Allen, and you can take out this guy right here with the 4 mil Allen. But you definitely need this 24 millimeter. I just got the Tecton. Let's see if you can kind of see the label. It's Tecton, Tekton, made in USA, 24 mil. Put that on there, and then you can take that out. Now, the piece, well, I'll just slide it out here. I'll show you. So this thing, it slides forward. I'm just going to slide it forward slowly. Actually, sorry, it's backwards. You slide it backwards and then up, okay? And there's a little rubber grommet right there. That little rubber grommet slides out, and then this whole piece comes off, okay? So, well, the rubber grommet fell. So I'll show you that real quick. So here's this little guy, okay? It's a little metal, nut type of thing, and it goes into the backside of the rubber grommet, okay? But here's what it looks like sitting there, right? And so the clawfoot wrench, when you put it on the backside, the clawfoot wrench really, it sits on there like that, right? So it keeps it from spinning. Crowfoot wrench, right? So there's that piece. We'll stick it there. And then this actually is supposed to sit up in here. So let me just stick it in here. It actually goes in like this, right into here, like that. And then this guy goes in here like that, okay? So that's that. Now, these guys up here, these little rubber guys here, if the dealer works on your bike, these things are gonna get deformed. Sorry, I'm not filming this properly. These things will get deformed if the dealer works on your bike. Now, what do you put in here? You put silicone grease. Silicone grease on all these rubber gaskets. And you can get that in the plumbing aisle at the hardware store. This is what it looks like. Silicone grease in a little tube. And, you're going to have, here's another one right here. Okay. And that's to allow for the pieces to slide in and out, right? So you've got some here, in here, in here, and they get deformed. So the dealership, they deformed mine originally because they didn't put the grease on there when they were working on the bike. So I have to form them back and grease them up, but that's that. So then you got another, to take off this panel, you've got another 4mm Allen right here that goes into the tank. And then you have one here and one here. Okay, so it took me about 35 to 40 minutes to get to this point. I have maybe like 3,500 miles on the bike, right around that range. And in order to get to the air filter, you know, you have to take the whole top end of the bike off and remove the gas tank. Now that gas tank is pretty full, but luckily you can actually remove it very easily without spilling any gas at all. So that didn't take too long. And then here's the air intake here, and here's your radiator fill cap here. And this is a Sprint Racing air filter that I put in when I bought the bike, okay? So you can clearly see that, you know, it's pretty bad. Now Sprint says that you can just straight up blast this thing with compressed air to clean it, and then you can just drop it right back in. This is not a filter, Sprint. You do not oil Sprint filters, okay? You don't put oil on them like K&Ns do. This is the top of the air intake here, so I'm going to clean and wash that because the tube is pretty bad. You know, to take the tank off, it's really pretty easy. It's just a few bolts here and there. You have to unplug this guy. You got to pop off the fuel line. You don't need a special tool for that. What you do is, I'll show you what you do on that. So what you do is you just push down on this coupling right here. You push down on this coupling. Sorry, no, you pull up on the coupling. You pull up on it, and then you pull the pipe out. So it's kind of like a, let's see, yeah, you pull up. Yeah, you pull up on the coupling, and then down and up on the pipe, and it comes right out. This is just open gas tank. I just put a piece of paper over these ports just to keep any debris from getting in there. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty basic. You just take some time, spend a little time removing all the fairings and this and that, and then, you know, this is just a little computer that sits on top of the air intake box on those little tabs, and here's your air filter there. So pretty easy. Although I do wish that Ducati would simplify changing the air filter. On the V4, it's really easy to do. On some of their other bikes, it's really easy. But in all reality, you shouldn't have to take apart most of the bike to get at your air filter. There's just no need for that. Unless Ducati is specifically trying to assist their dealer network with making more revenue from repairs, right? Because if you were to take your bike in and say, hey, I want you to change my air filter, they're going to probably charge you 3 hours of labor, no doubt, you know, for something that should take 5 minutes. So anyway, that's the process.